and gentlemen, hopefully that didn't cut out. Welcome to episode 2 of Let's Play Anarchy Online. So this episode I'm going to just focus on the UI settings. So we are in game, space is jump, WSD is your standard walking key. I don't use A and D. I don't think a lot of people really use that. I guess you can use it sometimes in the back, but mostly I just right click the screen and you just pull your direction instantly. When you walk, you hop, you know. That's basically the main interface, the part for that area. Now, I always focus on cleaning my interface when I first play a game. I can't stand it. I have to go through all the options. So first of all, let's start with the main option. So this is the action button up here. So you got emotes, which you can do things like greetings, that's scared, surprise, surrender, wave. You know, you got everything here you need. What is this, fish size? Gestures, approvals. You got your little kiss low, kiss high, giggles, dislike, dancing, athletics. I mean, you got everything. You got YMCA. So you got everything there. That's your emotes. If you took one of these and actually hold on to it, just literally like hold on to it and drag up top here, you can actually do that, and then you can always use it on your hotbar there. So you got your camera options. You got the 3D rubber, which is just weird as heck. You got the 3D lock, which I prefer. Or you have the 3D trail, which is just, I don't know. I can't do it. Oh no, now I'm really going and getting confused. And then you got first person, which I do in some situations, but 99% of the time I don't. And then I use 3D lock, which is my favorite. One thing I noticed that's annoying, and you'll get used to, you'll accidentally click here, or you're walking and somehow you'll move your camera here, and it kind of doesn't go back to you like the 3D rubber sort of does, but the 3D rubber really feels like rubber. It kind of goes in and out, and not my taste. I like the lock, just a solid feel. But anyways, if you use your numpad, and if it's if your numpad is on and you use your 5 key, it'll always reset it. Your 5, 8, 6, and 2 always changes the other views. But if you hit your 5 key, it'll fix it for you. And then you can zoom in and out with your scroll wheel, mouse wheel. Just normal like that. Normal actions, we'll ignore these. You have walk on your bar. I suggest you take that off because you're going to accidentally hit it. I take sitting off. X is sitting, by the way. Following, you can use macros like follow, so click up guide and you can actually just use /follow, or you can do /macro space, say follow and then /follow, and I believe that's how it creates macros. It's been a couple of years since I played. Remove the exit button. Alt F4 once will do a normal exit. Alt F4 twice within like 3 seconds will exit out of the game right away. And then you got your normal attacks. Your these ones will add onto our bar. Not these ones though. We'll be adding weapon style ones, like fling, like fling shot. Maybe not fling, like burst and etc. But these are, ones that you can be using later on. Well, you won't use die match and brawl, but I mean compared to your character class. Sorry, I'm a little confusing the hell out of you, I'm sure. So we got stats, which is this up top here, which is handy. I kind of like leaving that up there, but we'll just close it for now. Then you got your trade skill kit. I've never done trade skills, but I know that looks simple, but the trade skill system in this game isn't simple. It's a lot more complicated than 99% of games out there. You got your control panel. I've never used these in my life. Not sure why anyone would use the control panel. I'm guessing that's like old school style and people just wanted it left in, or they just left it in. Then you got a help. This tells you sort of the help, and there's some good information here. You got cameras, team, like tons of information, org information. It's good to read through it, especially once you're starting to learn more advanced things in the game. You got your settings, which we'll go through, and then you got your chat config, which we'll also go through. So we're going to go through settings. Actually, no, we're not even finished here. That was just for actions. Then you got vehicles, which you can't use here. They're kind of mechs. They're for subscribers, as far as I know, only, which I am a subscriber, and we will be following a subscriber path. Then you got your character screen, which brings up skills, which I'll go through this on another episode. And then we got research, which is probably going to be the same episode. And then we got this one, which is nano. And you get special skills that will fill in here, and I'll go into detail on another episode on that as well. Probably the next one more for the nanos, where they store your nanos. Basically your buffs, and then you can drag them onto your hotbar. Then you have your inventory. So you can expand it. I always keep my inventory like this. And then just click this button here. Disable and enable window frame hiding. I hate everything fading like this down here. I think there's a setting that we can set for that. And then we have your where. So in this game, you don't have like your just simple, just few items. This is a whole page here. Was that 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you have 15 different things that you wear that is just related to weapons, your deck, your HUD slot, your utility slot. And then you have the same amount again, but with armor. And then you have the same again, except it's 13 slots, which is related to implants or symbionts or spirits. And then you have social. So you got 30, 40, 43 useful slots at least, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. This game is about tweaking too. You're going to learn so much. Well, hopefully you'll learn so much. I may not be the best teacher, but that's your where. And then over here is NCU. Basically, when I said those nano programs, when you execute a nano program, it shows up here. In this game, you start with 8 NCU, and then you get belts, which can offer NCU, as well as NCU deck slots. Basically, they increase your NCU, and that's a whole new thing. So I like to drag mine up here. I like to put my compass right in the middle. I like to drag my NCU bar sort of like this. This is sort of how I set mine up, so, just give you guys a little idea. So that's the NCU. I'll keep that open. And then we got map, and this is normal map, which is an area map. I never use that. We used to use that quite a bit back in the day, but I don't think it's used as common. Though you can get map upgrades where it can show creatures and players on the map. And then when you click map, there's planet map. Now, planet map is probably the most useful. I'm using edited one, which is called... is that the one I'm using here? Select map. Which is called AORK RK1, which is RK1 server. And that's the map I'm using. There, it gives you a site for aomaps.com. You can find more instructions how to get a customized map. Basically, it offers more detailed, more zoom levels on the map. And you can even zoom in more for even more zoomage. And as you can see, the world is really large. And even one more zoom layer, which shows you a gray map, which is useful for other things. I'm not sure what the different zooms offer, but you can play around with that. So that's the map. And then we have missions window, which we'll show you in the next episode. I don't really keep that open. I only keep it open if I'm doing a mission. Kind of, pointless to have it sitting on my screen all the time. Then we have a new feature in Anarchy Online, which if you guys ever played Funcom, you would have seen something similar to this, which is an item mall. Thankfully, in Anarchy Online, it's even more, I'm going to use the word legit. You can't buy, as far as I saw, any items and etc. Most of it is everything social. The only thing that may be a little unfair is character boosts, which kind of give you access your bank from anywhere for 7 days, or portable GMS for 7 days, which isn't even really, that's not legit, no one cares about that. Portable bank, portable GMS, and victory points package. This here is probably the most unlegit feature on here, and really, basically it's PvP point farming, which is really easy to do anyways. And these packages are quite expensive anyways for the amount of points you get. So that's probably the most unlegit thing you can get, is the points, where you can buy PvP armor with it. And I shouldn't say PvP armor. It is PvP that you gain these points for the armor, basically, or the AI raids. But mainly it's for OFAB armor, which isn't even like the best armor in the game. I think in the end you use the AI armor and etc. etc. So it's not like a pay-to-win game at all. You can pay to have better convenience, I guess. And then there's these experience stims, which isn't really bad at all. I think the highest one is 20%. Yeah, like our side factions provide like 17. You can get rings, two of the rings that provide 14 exp. So these exp buffs are nothing compared to what you can get in the game. I guess they're kind of handy if you're leveling a character fast on Kite Hill or whatever. I may even consider putting some a few dollars in to help a wonderful game. And also to just level a little faster in a part where all I'm doing is sitting there and doing nothing anyways. Uh, and then you got the vehicle ones. So these are more like a fun type, neat looking vehicles, and which are worth getting if you're very social into that stuff. Then you got social pets, replica armor. Replica armor, as far as I know, gives 0 stats. They're just like looks. They're just for looks, kind of like that. They didn't even look that special. And then you got some social items like wings here. Did they put any pictures? No. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Some snowball fighting. Teaches the art of constructing snowballs through nanotechnology. That's kind of cool. So they add some seasonal things that you can't really get all the time, just only during the seasons on here, which is kind of cool, I think. So yeah, that's for that part of the UI. This is going to be a kind of a long video. I thought it would be pretty short. So now I'm going to show you some settings. If you hit F10, you can bring up the settings window. It's a little easier. So audio, for me, I have to bring mine down to about 20% so you guys can hear me. You can change your battle. You can change your battle music, FX volume music, and yeah. So your battle music, you can have it off. So when you go into combat, it changes the music, or you can do it so it's only versus hard or versus normal hard or off. Voices, I just keep voices on/off, simple. Only in team channel. I don't think that's not like a Ventrilo type thing. I think that's just like special emotes that says charge kind of thing, and you hear voices. Then you have environment effects. I have everything max, just like your simple normal games. I take fade character off. This is basically settings, so when you zoom in and out to your character can kind of go invisible for certain reasons. I'm not into that, but anyways. And then we have fog here. I have everything on auto detect. I don't know. See, I've never been good at that, so I guess you can do that one. So you can turn off fog, which makes things somewhat look better or not look better. It's hard to tell. I would always just put auto detect. I've never really gotten an idea of what fog works. Maybe with a YOM high up in the city, looking down, it'd be easier to play with those settings. Visual textures. So I put everything high, high, high. Use compressed textures. I've never checked. I think that may be useful for people with low memory video cards. Not sure. View distance. I put everything max. And then ground quality, radius, everything as maximum as possible. And then we have MISC, so show org names over heads, show all names, use no bob camera. Oh, I may actually use that. So if we get closer, you'll probably notice a bit more. See how you're you're like use no bob, makes it so it's not so bouncy. So I'm going to actually keep that on. That's kind of useful. Show commercial billboards. Free-to-play players, you'll see commercial billboards, I think, and then non-free-to-play won't. But I turn them all on. I like advertising. Wait for vertical sync. I guess that is useful in some ways. It prevents off-screen service technology. Oh, what is that? Maybe some kind of 3D rendering or something? I don't know. Oh, man. Oh, anyways, wait for vertical sync. I don't turn that on. It can help prevent tearing, I guess, on certain video cards. I've never really had that bad tearing before. So you have helmet visible, shoulder pads visible, right, left, because you have two different shoulder pads. It's not like some games where you're gonna get shoulder pads. You get like actually to pick your left and right one as well. This just lets you visually pick which one you want shown. And then you got enable the social tab, so that works. I'll enable mine. And then some titles that show over, I guess, people's names. And then you have your GUI. And so this is enable control center. Oh, that's everything. And sidebar transparency. Well, that's for over there. We don't even touch that. Mini toolbar I always turn on. And this is the mini toolbar. It just makes you access some of those more useful things. So that was the team window, your map. It just makes you access things. That's your friends list. Don't know if I even showed your friends list. I think I went to the store. So you got your team window, you got your raid window. So you can have raids with all 6 times 6. There you go. Then you got your find team window, which is pretty cool. I probably won't find any. Oh, here we go. It goes by level, so I think level scale in a certain different way. So at level 100 you can see like maybe down to 70 and up to like 150, where at level 1 you only see level 1s basically. So that's why when you go here it'd be like, oh, there's no one here. Like, I mean, look at I just did any. There's no other level 1s looking for a group, because no level 1 groups, people look for groups. That, and most people don't even know about it. But anyways, that's the find team, and then this is your friends list kind of thing, and channel, windows, etc, etc. But anyways, we go on here. So we got your show your left and right menu. That's these buttons here basically. Show your left bar, show your right bar, show your target. That's down there. Show your right wing. Then you got your compass, nano target, fighting target, health bar, everything here. These are just basically on-off things that you may not need or want. So we'll bring this down, because when you're fighting, you'll have a window that pops up here. See that? So you want to bring it down, because if you do special moves, it stacks down. And then you get your mini toolbar and your transparency slider, which is really useless, I think, there. And then you have this setting, which some of these settings I've already preset, like on another character, and they kind of copy over. Basically, so you can hit escape. But if I uncheck inventory and open inventory, and now I hit I, well, that window was actually marked for closing as well, but that wasn't. So it closed that one, but not that one. Just gives you an idea. But anyways, open F10 again. So I put it on everything because I want all the windows closed. And then you have your chat, you display your friends, and texture shadows. You can do deep, which makes me sick, and then you can shallow and down. I think shallow makes it text, show up a bit better. Your fade, show select group input. Oh, you got everything on here. Auto AFK I have unchecked. Chat indicators flash on hand. And then you got your fading. This controls everything over here. I hated these. These kept fading in and out. It was so annoying. I was getting sick by it. So I did this, and that stopped that fading. So you got some mouse behavior here, invert, etc, etc. And then you got behaviors like auto attack a monster. So basically, if a monster attacks you, you auto attack, auto target a monster. I believe if a monster attacks you, it auto targets. I'm not quite sure on that. Auto target player. I'm assuming if you take auto attack player off, you can put auto target, so at least it'll like look at the player and target them, but it won't attack. And then you can disable all EXP games, which is actually important because there is a level capped. I'm gonna say the word dungeons in this game. So you want to disable your XP if you were trying to farm for a certain thing, or maybe you want to just stay capped at a certain level to farm. Show target of target. I find that important, kind of. Automatically reject dual requests. I do that. Sometimes people are idiots. Disable inspect function. I don't know why people do that. It's inconsiderate. People, are new to the game. They want to inspect people just to get an idea of how things work. It's rude when it says rejected. And then we have automatically rejecting mentor invites. Mentor doesn't really work properly. And then we have fixed keybinds. These are things that you can't change, which is not a big deal because they're crazy keys and it doesn't matter. And then you have normal keybinds, which you can change all in here. So overall, I think we've gone through most, if not all, the UI settings. The last thing I'm going to do is change my chat window. So when you first start out, usually the main chat window will stretch right at the bottom. No one's going to usually talk this far. And your combat window is separated. Your system messages end up in your main chat, which cause a bit of spam, and it's a bit messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click, combat, and then I'm just going to move it. I'm not even holding down right-click. I'm just moving it, and then boom, it shows up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this window down a bit. I'm going to resize this window down a bit. I'm going to pop this puppy down here. Bring it down just a bit. And then I'm going to bring this puppy. Yes, I'm saying puppies. Don't get excited. There's no little cute puppies around here. I'm going to bring this one down like this, and I'm trying to match it sort of close together. I think that's pretty close. Maybe bring this one down a bit. There we go. So now I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to chat configuration, and I'm going to go to public channels, and then I'm going to turn off system, if that's where it is. Yeah, system off in this window, and I'll hit X, and then I'll go over here and I'll go to chat configuration, and I will enable system. Oh no, I'm on the wrong window. Oh, here you go. You can click over here anyway. So this is default window and combat. So I'll turn on combat on this side. So I'll still get loot messages and EXP showing on this side, but it won't be as spam. So now I'm going to increase this just a bit because I decided, you know what? Don't need all my screen. Transparency looks pretty good, but it may change slightly. Oh, getting a bit of lag here. My Fraps is acting up. Okay, I'm going to reset the video. Okay. Yeah, sorry, my computer's not that great, so sometimes Fraps likes to act up and glitch, which clearly did it there. So now we've edited the windows to sort of what I like. I'm going to actually change them now. I'm going to visually turn them to right-click, visual mode, and borderless. Visual mode and borderless. And now we have a problem. When they're not highlighted, they're too dull, and I hate that dull crap, you know, the transparency stuff. So I'm just going to match the transparency on both of them. Where's the transparency here? Visual transparency, and match it up. There we go. So now I like that. It's a dark look. It's going to always be dark even when I hover over, click on it. That's good. Now this window, I don't even need to talk. So we can do this and disable text input window. And there you go. And once you start spamming these a bit, so let's do just a bit of spam here. Just don't spam all the time. You'll get your little bar here, and you can still drag it, or you can mouse wheel it. And look, it gave me a little error that I'm being a spammer. And look at that, we got gold sellers buying RK1 gold seller. He's spying. Don't do that. It's probably fun come trying to ban some accounts, and because you guys love this game, you'll end up buying another account. So yeah, I think that includes the interface option. So oh yeah, let's get another hotbar up here. So let's hit F10. Go back to preferences and control center, texture, view distance, ground, character. See, even I don't remember everything, so I'll go through it. Control center. Nope, closed by escape. I'm looking for a bar, so MISC. Here we go. Number of hotbars. There we go. And just stack them over each other, kind of. And yeah. Look at that, lock hotbars. I don't do that. Lock raid, show nano target. I might as well. Oh, that's I don't even. I've never used that. Look, lock equipment tabs. That's kind of important, high level. If you tweak up too much and then you accidentally click something that replaced a piece of gear, and then you got to spend hours of buffing and changing implants and tweaking again. So basically, we're set. Right-click attacks. Not right-click. Fail. I mean left. Number 1. Yes, 1. See, we don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next bar is like Alt 1, I think, or Shift 1. I don't know. You can set the hotkeys anyways in the options. You guys all saw that now. So one of the important things is where's his target? Oh, look at, see how it's over there? We hit it with the NCU window. So, little clever guy, we got to click our name. There we go. We'll move it like that. That way it gives it room to breathe, because depending if it's a hard mob, their bar increases. Like his bar increased quite a bit there. So you want to make sure you spread the bars so they don't overlap. And yeah, I believe that's it. So 1 is the attack E, which is the default arrow there. Oh, and this is 2, so I guess... Oh, yeah, I forgot. This game is a little different. So this doesn't mean this is hotbar 1. This is hotbar 1, this is hotbar 2, and each hotbar has 10 slots on it. So I think you have 10 hotbars, so you can have 100 slots in total. Go figure. Kind of crazy, huh? So I think that pretty much sums up this part of the video. I am so sorry that it took so long, but it's a pretty complex interface, and it's always good to get a good idea of your interface. By the way, if you're noticing this defense or aggressive, this is more used for later on, but you would put this on defensive when you're fighting like a hard monster, and it'll make it so he misses you a lot more, but your attack would be also slower. Unless if you kept up your melee speed or range speed or etc., and then you can actually cap it out to the point where it's one speed, I believe, and then even full defensive, you're still moving the same speed as full aggressive. But that's something later on we can talk about and learn. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here. I think I've talked enough. Oh, one more. Shift, click, left click gives you information on creatures. So if you do it on yourself, it gives you information here. So I have 750 paid points. I have 45 veteran points, victory points. I have 0. Just gives information. You click everything, even in your inventory. I have nothing on me, but when I get a piece of an item, you can hover over it. But if you shift click it, you'll get way more details by shift clicking it. So remember, this game is about shift clicking things to get a lot more information. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something and have enjoyed this video. And please subscribe, and we'll see you next time on episode 3, where we'll actually kill something.